let's go to my game, Sunday Night Football. I was hyped for this game. I was so pumped. I was happy to have Trubisky back starting. I was happy for the opportunity to play on national TV against our hated rivals. And if we could just find a way to steal a win, one of those games where if you could just steal it and then get to 6-5, drop the Packers down to 7-4, and everything's up there for grabs still. But for whatever reason, Matt Nagy, you give him more time to prepare. We had a bye week to prepare for this game. You give Matt Nagy more time to prepare, and we look worse. For whatever reason, he sucks. And for whatever reason, our defense let us down in this game. But it wasn't just that. I mean, our defense definitely let us down, but our offense wasn't great either, and missed opportunities early. The Packers, they drive down and score on us right off the bat, but then the Bears have a big run. It sets up 1st and goal. Trubisky hits 2 receivers in the hands in the end for a touchdown, and neither can finish the play. Neither can hang on to the ball. We have to settle for 3. 6-3. Defense can't make a stop. Suddenly we're down 13-3. That was pissing me off. And then the next drive, the Bears are moving it. They're moving down the field. Trubisky's making some nice throws. We're moving the ball. And then Nagy decides to call a shot play, a play-action deep shot play. This pisses me off because it's too greedy. It's too aggressive. And what have we been saying about Mitch Trubisky his entire career? He's not a great deep ball thrower. He is so much better in short to intermediate passes. So run short to intermediate and run the ball and play defense. But instead, Nagy calls for a deep shot. Trubisky doesn't go off of it. He throws it anyway in a double coverage, and we get picked off in the end zone. Then how about this play? Trubisky gets face masked twice on a sack, which results in him fumbling the ball, and Preston Smith picks it up and goes in for a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers gets a ticky-tack, shove, roughing the passer call to keep their drive alive, but Trubisky gets face masked twice, and we can't get a flag. Home field Packer, officiating strikes again. Bret, I know you're familiar with this. Why does this always seem to happen to the Packers? They get every single call to go their way.
I don't know, man, but we could sit here for hours and talk about the bullshit that they've messed up in Lions-Packers games.
Yeah.
Packers, if you're out there, I don't want to hear it. Fuck you. You understand and know the situation that's going on right now. We're all sitting here talking and thinking about – we could think about 1,000 plays right now off the top of our head.
Yeah, we really could.
And it's just – it's oh, man. I don't even want to begin. I know that it's frustrating, infuriating, because a couple years ago when he got that little tiny face mask across the hands from Fairley, or hands across the face mask, they got that replay. He threw the Hail Mary, and the Packers won and beat the Lions. That should have been called in this game on Trubisky. It should have been called that way, and it never gets called against the Packers. It's unreal. I don't even, debate me about it, because I'll go on all day about this.
Well, and this leads me, and Troy Aikman mentioned this in the Washington Cowboys game. I've been saying this all year. You guys have heard me say it, and Troy Aikman agreed with me on the broadcast that we need to make everything reviewable. We need to be able to review everything, and I'm talking officiating too, because we got to get rid of this, oh, they called it, or oh, they didn't call it, and there's nothing we can do. We got to get the fucking calls right. I'm sorry, and I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of the Packers getting every single call. I'm tired of, Tom Brady used to get every single call and still does sometimes. I'm tired of the superstar calls, and Patrick Mahomes gets them, Lamar Jackson gets them, and I want to see the calls get made right. I don't care if it results in a longer game. I want the calls to be right. If we could throw the challenge flag, it's obvious to everyone watching at home on TV and everyone in the stadium that there's 2 face masks there. And because we can't review it, Bears fans just got to sit there and take it. A fumble return for a touchdown, and we're down 27-3 on bullshit. And I was mad. And I'm not gonna. The officiating is not the reason we lost this game, but we got to make everything reviewable. So that's my point on that. The reason we lost this game is because we did not show up. We had a bye week to prepare to play the effing Packers, our hated rival. Bears-Packers is supposed to be respected. It's supposed to be the greatest rivalry in football. And yet we can't show up and we get our doors blown off in a must-win game with the season on the line. F you, Matt Nagy. F you, Ryan Pace. Get the hell out. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. Get the fuck out.
He said it's done.
Done. Get out. I am 100. I said 3 weeks ago I was 100% done with Matt Nagy. What am I supposed to say now after that performance? Get the F out. I'm done. Trubisky's not the answer either. I'm done. I'm not defending him anymore. You throw in the double coverage. You throw in the triple coverage. That was your opportunity to play the game of your life and beat your rival and get the entire city who was ready to embrace you in that game on national TV, on prime time, and beat your rival. And it wasn't even competitive. It was over at halftime. I'm sitting there watching it with a Packers fan, who I'm good friends with, Josh, and I was pissed, man.
Despicable.
And yeah. Go ahead, Dustin.
But Alex, they've had, Trestman and then Nagy. What next? Who do you think can actually turn that franchise around? Because they're not in a good place.
Well, and I'm fine with that, and I'm here to admit that. I don't care. Like, all I want is competent. All I want is competitive. That's all I'm asking for. I know this Bears team isn't that good. We've never been good on offense. Mark Trestman had us good for 1 year, and then we were a laughingstock, and Trestman got fired because he sucked that next year. And Trestman's thing was couldn't win the big game either. And Nagy, and I never thought I would say this. Rewind 5 years ago, I never thought I would say this. But Matt Nagy is worse than Mark Trestman. As a coach, as a play caller, as a leader of men. Get the hell out. And let's get anybody else in here that can at least make us competitive. And it starts with drafting a quarterback. We got to get a quarterback. We got to hit on one. I hope that Zach Wilson falls a little bit and we can trade up to draft him, the BYU quarterback. That's who I got my eyes on. He might be out of reach because the sad thing is we're probably going to win a game or two here before the season's over and finish with 6 or 7 wins and be middle of the pack draft and be a little bit too far away from Zach Wilson. But that's what I want. He's got a little Jim McMahon to him. He just went to, I forget what he went to, but he had 2 chicks kissing him on the cheek like he was a pimp. I want him as my quarterback. He's got swag. He's got the deep ball. Huh?
Oh, geez. He's a pimp now, huh?
Him over Mac Jones?
I don't mind Mac Jones. I'm at a loss right now because I don't know what's going to fix it. And it starts with fire Ryan Pace, fire Matt Nagy, if possible, fire Ted Phillips, get all the high-ranking pieces of shit out of Hallis Hall and get some people in who know what they can do.
Damn, bro, you are pissed off.
Dude, I was silent. I wasn't even talking shit Sunday night. I was silent. I was embarrassed. I was sad. I was furious on the inside. I didn't know what to do or say, and I saved it all for right now because I'm done. I'm done.
Let it out, son. Let it out.
Now, Bears Lions on Sunday. And I know I'm saying I'm done, but I'm going to be wearing my Bears jersey rooting for the sweep of the Lions. and there's pride on this. I know you're going to be watching saying, Patricia and Quinn are gone, but we can't lose. We can't get swept by the Bears. We got to end this 5-game losing streak against them. So there's a lot of pride on the line on Sunday. Well, I'm going to take my shots. What else do we have? What else do we have going for us?
It's going down.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a fun game. Throw out the records. Whenever Bears and Lions get together, it's a lot of fun and a lot on the line. What do you guys think of my rant? Am I over the top or am I justified?
Yeah, you are definitely justified. You're a frustrated diehard fan who has been going through a lot these last, decade.
Couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I say even a decade. I mean,
honestly, we thought it couldn't get much worse on offense than John Fox era. Oh, Matt Nagy's era. This is worse.
But I mean, what do you think can fix the offense, though? I mean, if you have 3 head coaches and they can't fix the offense, what's going on?
The right quarterback. Cutler was turnover prone. I mean, he's the best thing we've had since in forever, since Sid Luckman, to be honest. I mean, maybe Jim McMahon. But the Bears win with defense and running the ball. And where we fucked up is we quit running the ball. We traded away Jordan Howard, who I know he's not as good now, but Jordan Howard at the time was a beast for us. And we had that identity where we ground and pound, we run the ball and play defense. These last couple of years with Matt Nagy, we haven't had a running game, and he refused to call the running game, and that was my concern when we hired him because of what he did in Kansas City. The reason that they lost that, the Chiefs were up 18 on the Titans in the playoff game. Matt Nagy was calling plays, refused to run the ball the entire second half, and blew an 18-point lead to Marcus Mariota and the Titans.
Yeah.
That's what we were getting with Matt Nagy. Yeah.
With a lot of head coaches, they go away from what is working and what their franchise is built on. Like, it's just ego at the end of the day. Like,
it 100% is. That's what Chad Brown said. Ego is holding back Matt Nagy. And you make a good point because the passing game is sexy. The passing game is what these guys all the praise goes to the passing game. That's why Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, these guys get so much praise. Josh McDaniels, etc., because of the passing game. It's not the running game is just ground and pound. It's ugly. It's not sexy at all. The passing game. That's why nobody picks the Titans in the playoffs and shit. They'd rather pick Mahomes and they'd rather pick whatever. But John Harbaugh and what the Ravens did last year shows what you can do with the running game and defense. And you lose your identity. That's one thing with Matt Nagy is we didn't have an identity on offense. And, that's what you get. You get this. Trubisky isn't the answer. Nick Foles wasn't the answer. It starts with a quarterback that you can believe in and the defense can believe in. The defense, as you saw against Green Bay, the defense kind of gives up when they don't believe that the offense can come back,
Yeah, and okay, let's say Nagy does come back and they do draft somebody like Zach Wilson. Do you think he can develop him?
No, hell no. Matt Nagy's one job when we hired him, he had one effing job, and that was to develop and get the most out of Mitch Trubisky. And I think we can all sit here and say he failed miserably.
Absolutely.
So
keep him.
Dude, Dustin, if Matt Nagy returns, I won't watch a Bears game next year.
Come on, bro. You have to still believe.
No. If Matt Nagy returns, I'm done. I'm done now. I'm going to watch. It takes a lot for me to quit. With the last game that Mark Trestman was a Bears coach, I didn't watch because I said I will not support this trash, this garbage. And if Matt Nagy returns, which he won't, he's gone. He's fired. And so we'll see on Ryan Pace, the GM, which he should be gone too. But, where does this all start? Where does this all go back to? Ryan Pace. trading up to draft Mitch Trubisky is talked about nonstop when he could have had Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes. If we had either of those two quarterbacks, we would be in a much better place right now.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Look at what Deshaun Watson is doing with nothing around him. 16 touchdowns and no turnovers the last 6 games. If we had that, we would be great right now. So I could talk about this forever. I'm going to spare you guys because it's frustrating and it is whatever. But fire Nagy, fire Pace, and get a quarterback.
I got all night, bro. This was actually a very good subject. So
yeah, it's fun, but that game on Sunday night was not.